You know, my local congresswoman here in Grand Junction, Colorado, from Mesa County, was arrested and charged with voter fraud insofar as attempting to rig the outcome of the election in 2020 for Trump.
Okay,
That's a
but what I'm
Republican.
saying
So can you
is,
give me the name of a Democrat congressman or
hey,
woman
are
that
you
has been
gonna let me
arrested,
talk?
charged, and found guilty of voter fraud insofar as aiding and abetting in the registration of undocumented migrants?
I don't know. I'm not on this shit. But whenever
So then
you
your claim's
say,
false.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is. It is false.
If it was false, I wouldn't get on here.
I think that right now you're lying. I'm sorry, Dustin. I think that you were coming up
I
here and you're
swear on
literally
a
lying.
holy Bible that I ain't lying.
And take it away. Tell us why you support the Trump administration.
Well, it's kind of simple. I grew up largely raised around Democrats. My grandmother ran the Democrat chair in the city and county we're in. She ran for office in Democrat, and when people like you say that illegals can't vote, illegals aren't allowed to vote, I strongly disagree because I've watched Democrats, registered illegal immigrants, to vote. And I will tell you how they do it very easily. They walk up to these houses and they'll say, hey, would you like to vote in the next election? Mary Sue, who lives in this house, says, yeah, sure. Okay. Are you a U.S. citizen? No. Okay, that's not an issue. We'll get that figured out. I want you to fill out your name, your address. They take the application back. 6 to 8 minutes later, their absentee ballot gets sent to the house. Their person that registers them goes, picks up the absentee ballot, fills it out, submits it.
So did you know that what you're describing is not only incredibly illegal because of a bill passed through Congress in 1994, but also incredibly irregular, atypical, and unlikely to occur? So this
Happens all over
follows as
Indiana.
a result of the 2020 election. There was 8.2 million registered voters in Georgia, and guess how many of those registered voters were undocumented migrants that cast a ballot?
Well, that's Georgia. I'm talking about Indiana.
Just guess for Georgia.
I would assume none with the very specific state.
9. What about Iowa's 2.3 million voters? How many of those do you think were self-reported, not even confirmed via the absence of citizenship, but merely self-reported non-citizens?
But will you say, because
Can you answer my question? I promise. I'm going
not sure.
somewhere with this.
I don't look at the charts, but
There was
your
80.
claim
So out of
that
the
it never
2.3
happens-
million voters in Iowa,
Your claim that it never happens, let me finish my point, is gravely untrue, because I know it doesn't just happen in my county in Indiana. It happens in neighboring counties, clear up into Indianapolis where it happens.
Okay, Dustin. So my claim is not that it never happens. My claim is that they can't vote, can't be an index to it's illegal for them to vote, right? Do people sometimes break the law?
Well, yeah, every single one of them that came into the country illegally did.
So people do sometimes break the law. Got it. So as it relates to non-citizens voting in elections, we'll be able to find maybe, I don't know, less than 300 instances of that happening in a federal election, which includes 150 million people. Like, for instance, in Georgia, there was 20 non-citizens registered to vote, 9 that actually cast ballots. In Iowa, it's 2.3 million voters. 87 of them were self-reported as non-citizens. And I'd say that these irregularities account to absolutely nothing. They're completely meaningless, and it's been illegal since the 90s. And if your claim is that Donald Trump is going to fix this, what is he going to do? Make it illegal again? Are they just going to stop breaking the law? And that's the thing. That's the thing, Dustin, is that you want to perpetuate this myth that undocumented migrants. Dustin, I'd appreciate it if you'd listen to me.
I am listening, but you're calling it a myth. I'm telling you, personal experience, it happens.
I'm telling you that what is a myth is the issue of non-citizens voting and that having any calculatable outcome on any calculatable impact on the outcome of an election. You know, it's like a bigger issue than like 9 people out of 8.7 million people in one state being non-citizens.
Okay, but what I'm
cast a
saying
vote. Do you want to know what the bigger issue is? And by the way, I want to clarify: all those ballots were caught by audits. I want to clarify: every single one of those ballots was caught by an audit.
Okay.
What the bigger issue
I'm not worried about a federal election, but whenever you're looking at local communities, whenever you live in a city like I do, where I would say well over 50% of legal registered voters are Republican,
and we've had a Democrat for the past
Would you
12
please
years.
turn off your Bluetooth? You're talking to me through a car headset or something other than your phone, and it's very low quality.
But whenever you look at that scheme of things, whenever your county chairs are being
this wouldn't even
influenced,
have an impact. 9 people out of 8.7 million registered voters in the state of Georgia. That's not going to have an impact on election at any level.
I'm not talking about Georgia. I'm talking about in my specific area.
Okay, so then specifically show me an audit that would demonstrate that's true.
They're not being caught on audit. My entire county.
So then how do you know that it's happening? Because why would they be caught on audit on every single state apart from Indiana that is a red state? Why would red state not catch these individuals on audits, but then blue states would?
My county is specifically controlled by Democrats.
Okay, so then give me an audit which would demonstrate how many
They hold
undocumented
the
migrants
most
voted.
shares. They have covered it up. 100%. You laugh. When did you get into politics? Because I've been around it my entire life.
Do you know what a conspiracy theory is?
It's not a conspiracy theory whenever you lived it, bro.
What's a conspiracy theory?
It's not a conspiracy theory whenever you lived it.
Can you
It's
tell me
something that's
what a conspiracy theory is?
It's something that hinges on very low facts.
Okay, out of
whenever
curious,
you
what are the facts to
experience
justify your claim?
The fact I live it. If I wanted to be a dick, I could
Saying that you lived it is not a fact.
name off every city councilman and every county councilman that I have walked with, handing out literature, handing out signs, who have all said this. But with that being said, I can turn to another fact of my entire life. I was born under a Republican.
Can you give me a single source from the internet that would indicate an issue of undocumented migrants voting in Indiana?
I'm telling you, they're not being caught. Just because you can find cases of them being caught,
if they're
every state is auditing
if they're not being caught, then how do you know that's happening?
Let me ask, those 9 that got caught, what election were they caught in?
The 2020 general. Now answer my question.
Oh,
if they're not
okay,
being
so-
caught, what evidence do you have of it happening? It kind of just sounds like it's being hinged on it. Trust me, bro.
Fine, if you want to take it that way, I don't have any physical evidence. But
have
what
any
I'm
evidence?
saying is, I can give you the councilman. I can go pull my grandmother
So what's the evidence
who
from the
has
councilman?
done it. Huh?
What's the evidence from the councilman?
The fact that I've walked with him and I've done it. He's told.
Did what specifically? Explain to me
He has
specifically what you've
walked
done
up-
that proves that undocumented migrants vote.
He has walked up to people and filled out their absentee ballots and filled out their voter registration forms for them.
Voter registration forms. Voter
Put-
registration form, Indiana. Let's see. Secretary of State, voter registration information, register to vote. You have a right to vote in Indiana if you are both a U.S. citizen and a resident of Indiana. So seemingly, in order to be registered to vote in Indiana, you have to prove citizenship via an SSN. So actually, no, you have not walked with anybody that has filled out a voter registration form for an undocumented migrant. Why are you lying?
I'm not. I've walked with them. They have said, "Do you want to vote?" Yes. Okay. Put your name, your first and last name, and your address on here. We will take it back and we'll fill out the rest of it.
Let's see here. Middle name, middle initial. So I actually have the voter registration form for Indiana pulled up on my state. You could find this on the Indiana Secretary of State Diego Morales' website. It's ion.gov. To find it, you just have to go to ion.gov and type in voter registration. It'll be the first thing that pops up. It looks like you have to give... So one of the questions is literally, are you a citizen of America?
Okay, and like you
and
said,
then another question is, are you at least 18 years old? And then another question is, what is your social security number or driver's license number? So that's actually not true. So you have to prove that you're a citizen by either giving your social security number or your driver's license number.
okay, so what I'm saying is I know for a fact they've done it. I've sat down with
So I just want to clarify. Your claim is that
who
those
have
people.
walked with me.
So then actually, it's your councilman that has conducted voter fraud. If what you're saying is true.
No, I said former.
So you had a formal.
Yeah.
So you had a former councilman that was conducting voter fraud.
Whenever he served in the early 90s, before he retired, he has sat down and told me. He has sat down with my grandmother and me, and we have talked about his entire career.
So at the end of the day, it was actually a U.S. citizen that was doing the voter fraud.
Okay, your point is what?
My point is that therefore your claim that undocumented migrants are committing voter fraud is not true.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the Democrat Party has perpetuated the fact that they are letting illegal immigrants register.
Actually, I want you to give me a single Democrat representative from across America that has been arrested, charged with, and found guilty of voter fraud insofar as allowing undocumented migrants
talking
to
about
register
all
and vote.
America.
Because you want to know
I'm
something.
proving the
Because you
point
want to know
that-
something really fucking funny, Dustin. You know, my local congresswoman here in Grand Junction, Colorado, from Mesa County, was arrested and charged with voter fraud insofar as attempting to rig the outcome of the election in 2020 for Trump.
Okay,
That's a
but what I'm
Republican.
saying
So can you
is-
give me the name of a Democrat congressman
Hey,
or woman
are
that
you
has been
gonna let me
arrested,
talk?
charged, and found guilty of voter fraud insofar as aiding and abetting in the registration of undocumented migrants?
I don't know. I'm not on this shit. But whenever
So
you
then your claim's
say
false.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is. It is false.
Fucker, if it was false, I want to get on here.
I think that right now you're lying. I'm sorry, Dustin. I think that you were coming up
I
here and you're
swear on
literally
a
lying.
holy fucking Bible that I ain't lying.
And so then show me the name of one Democrat congressman or woman that has been arrested for, charged with, and convicted of, committing voter
I don't
fraud and
have
registering
a name.
undocumented
That's what
migrant
I'm
voters.
saying.
Because they don't
But
fucking
I
exist.
don't-
So your claim that Democrats are perpetuating a notion of registering undocumented migrants, undocumented
In
migrant
my
voters
county, in
to
Madison,
register is not true.
In Madison County, Indiana, whenever you walk into the Democrat headquarters, I can name every single one of them that have sit down in my living room and said, "Hey, you remember whenever we did this?" Or I've asked them, "Hey, did you ever do this?"
Yeah, I don't believe you.
And they have all said, "Yeah."
No, I don't believe you.
Well, don't believe me. But my second thing is how come underneath Donald Trump's first term, my middle class family?
Can you name
lower
one of them?
middle class- Huh?
Name one of them.
No, I'm not going to call out people that
Okay,
They-
now I
they-
really don't believe you.
I'm not going to call out family and friends. That's fucked up.
Okay, all right. Well, I just.
I mean,
really
have
believe
you ever heard
It's fine.
fucking snitches get stitches? You ain't been from around where I'm fucking at, bro.
Yeah, so I just the reduction of the companies now that I really don't believe you.
Well, don't believe me, but whenever you fucking live it, it's something different. But to my second point is why underneath Donald Trump's first term, my lower middle class family, and currently underneath this term, my lower middle class family, is seeming to thrive whenever the Democrats pretty much said that he was never going to help lower middle class and poor people.
You're telling me that you're already thriving as a result of Trump's second administration?
I mean, life's getting easier and better. As
What has Donald Trump done to
make?
make your life get easier and better so far?
I mean, whenever I go in and buy American goods, they've tended to drop.
The price of America, like what specifically?
I don't know, like it's cheaper to go down to my local butcher shop now and buy beef and chicken.
Beef has gone cheaper?
At my local butcher shop, it is cheaper to go buy his meat than it is to go to the store and buy the store's meat.
They've actually gotten more expensive. So this is coming from Average Price Ground Beef, 100% beef from FRED. The price of beef has only went up since his inauguration.
Okay, but what I'm saying is for the local mom and pop shop, who Trump said at the very beginning, said we're trying to promote small businesses. Same way it's been in Florida, same way it's been in Tennessee, same way it's been in Kentucky. They promote small businesses, mom and pop shops.
But
by
listen,
mom
listen
and
what
pop
I'm telling you.
shops.
Like the average price of beef in America has gone up since his inauguration.
Listen, for those mom and pop shops that have cows that they butcher, it is cheaper to go to them than it is to go to the store who all jacked up their produce due to the tariffs.
Doo-doo.
I said due to.
Sorry.
Fucking
Okay.
immature motherfucker. Shit.
So, Dustin, here's the issue. The average price of beef in America has gone up since Donald Trump's inauguration. Yet you are proclaiming that you, one of the lucky few, who lives near a beef shop that has had the price gone down of their product, is because of Trump's.
I never said it went down. It's pretty much stayed the same, but
So
it
then,
is cheaper now.
So
It is cheaper now to go to them than it is the store.
Okay, so the local product has maintained a consistent price, but it's gotten more expensive at the store. So in other words, you're saying that he's actually just made beef more expensive.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of a tariff. You jack up the price of other things to promote your own type of goods.
So you're telling me that Donald Trump has made your life easier by making the price of some products more expensive.
I tend to want to buy American more. It boosts our economy more if you buy American.
So
Am I
how
wrong?
does Donald
Am I
Trump?
wrong? If you buy American, it boosts our economy instead of buying something from China, Afghanistan,
So when you
Iraq.
go to your local grocery store and you buy a good, you're buying a good that would provide an input into the American GDP. Plus, if your argument is now GDP growth, it went down the first financial quarter of 2025. But I do just want to clarify that your argument, in a nutshell, is literally Donald Trump has made your life easier since the start of his second term because he's made the price of some goods more expensive.
No, my
So
argument
then, what's the argument that he's made your life
on
easier?
a promise of making American mom and pop shops and small businesses more easier to make money because their products
Easier
are
to make
cheaper.
money. Well, I asked you this. You said that he's made your life easier since the beginning of his second administration. Obviously, increasing the price of some goods you could buy from some places doesn't make your life easier. So, what has he done that's made your life easier?
He's promoted small businesses that I can go to and buy shit.
But listen, Dustin, this doesn't actually like make your life easier, even if it was true. Because think about it. You have
It makes it a hell of a lot easier.
Dustin,
Instead of
listen
me
to me.
driving 15 minutes to a fucking store, I can go right down the
Dustin, I
street
just want you to listen to
and
me.
go to the butcher shop, go to the general store, go to.
Dustin, listen to me. This is what you're saying. Business number one, big business. Business number two, small business. Business number one, big business, 30 minutes away. Business number two, small business, 10 minutes away. Before Trump was inaugurated, if you wanted to buy beef, you'd go to business number one, the big business, that's 30 minutes away, and get it for $5 because the beef at the small business costs $6. But you're saying that Trump has actively made your life easier by instead making the beef from the business of number one, the big business, go from $5 to $7, and your life has been easier because now you have more incentive to only drive 10 minutes and still spend overall more money on your beef. So basically, in other words,
How
you're
would I
saying that a
spend
switch
more money?
because you're saying
whenever-
that if Donald Trump wasn't president, if he didn't tariff these other countries, you'd still be
If
driving
I
30
drive
minutes away and
30
buying it for
minutes,
$1
that's
cheaper.
$20
So in
worth of
other
gas.
words, you're saying that Donald Trump has made your life easier by making you spend overall more money for the bare necessities to live. What the fuck?
Okay, if I got to drive 30 minutes to the store, that's $20 worth of gas. Whenever I could walk down, literally 5 minutes to the road, and go to a smaller store, walking don't cost money. I don't know if you know that. You probably drive fucking everywhere, but and spend $7 whenever I could have went and got meat for $2 down across the street because it came from Canada or fucking Mexico.
Yeah, you're literally arguing that you're happy that Donald Trump is making you spend more money. You're like, Donald Trump is now making me spend $7 instead of $2, and I love it.
So $7 instead of $21 because you got to put gas in the car to get the 30-minute drive.
Wait, well, if you're gonna add gas into the equation, insofar as how much it would cost you to get the beef from the other store, wouldn't it make more sense for you just to go to the local butcher, even though it costs more before the tariffs?
Whenever you own a business, do you factor in the factor of you got to put gas in your car to go to the job site? Yes.
So then you would have had more incentive to go to the local butcher in the first place before Trump introduced his tariffs. Like, you still had to spend money on gas before he introduced his tariffs, right?
I know, but what I'm saying is whenever gas is...
I mean, listen.
gas is
Literally,
cheaper
Dustin, hear me out.
coming from-
We're gonna use a scientific method, okay? So we need to evaluate, okay, the means in which you would get your beef before he was elected and now after he's elected. Okay, we're factoring for a shit ton of variables here, like gas, like time, like energy and effort. Okay, but all those variables are going to remain like relatively like consistent and stagnant before and after his inauguration. All right, so let's just look at the variables that change. What are the variables that change? Okay, it's not the price of the beef that you get from your local market. So what could it be? The price of the beef that you'd get from the big block store 30 minutes away. That is the only changing variable. All right, just listen. That is the only changing variable is the price. Okay, then what are the other changing variables?
There was a tax on gas. There was a tariff put on imported goods like gas.
So your gas
went
is more expensive? Okay, so let me get this straight. The two things that have changed that have made your life easier since Donald Trump became president was gas got more expensive and beef from some stores got more expensive. How is that a win?
It's a win because it's promoting, hey, instead of going to the big box store, why don't you go help Polly and Sam down the road?
So
raised
basically
the
you're
cow.
telling me that your life has gotten easier because now you're now in a place where going to the local butcher is all things considered, the best option for you. But in contrast, you're still spending more money. Like the reduction of your claim is your life has been easier because you get to spend more money on mom and pop shops.
No, my claim is that it makes more sense
Idiot! Dude, this is treacherous.
Hey, you're the fucking idiot. You're the one that voted for Kamala, you dumb bitch.
Dude, okay, and you rage quit and you left. Yeah, oh, I'm the one that voted. I'm the one that voted for the candidate with tax policy that would have made everybody's life easier and would have grown us closer to our allies and ensured that human rights were protected in this country. Oh, Jesus, I'm so stupid. Oh, how could I? Oh, man, I didn't want to literally pay more money and then label me paying more money as the quality of my life increasing. He's calling me stupid. Your argument was literally that your life has gotten easier because you pay more to go to the store to buy shit because Trump's made your gas more expensive, and then you pay more to actually buy shit from the store because now you're sourcing from local farmers compared to fucking Walmart, Target, or City Market. Dude, come on, man. Really? I don't know what it is, you guys. Like, yeah, blows me away.